Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, my fellow YouTubers, Facebookians. Aries here with a video. Welcome to another edition of Living Simply and Fun. I'm your host, Aries, as you know, Aaron, and I am proud to say I just made myself my first latte. So, shall we get to the video so we don't have the dog barking and causing trouble? And
it should be short because we only got 3 cigars that we're going to review at this point. We're trying to make them a little shorter. So, the first one we're going to start off here with, we got this, well, I think she wants to show off her new cigars.
The CAO sampler and humidor
It's all
combo.
90 rated CAOs.
Live right here. Right there. Isn't that
We
nice?
actually got 2 of them because I ordered one and she ordered one. That way we can each try one at the same time. And
Give
so that
you
works
our
better
reviews.
for our reviews. So, alright, so I'm going to start off this thing. The first one we tried yesterday was something called a La Diferencia Cubana. Now, this came from the Po' Boy 3 sampler, I think it was.
It might have been the Po' Boy 2
It doesn't really, well, it was the shorter ones. I think the Po' Boy 3 was the shorter.
Po' Boy was longer. They were 8 inches.
Well, they're both Po' Boys. Anyways, this was the shorter one.
And the Po' Boy 2 sampler.
Yeah.
See?
No, this came from the 2 then. Because the Stogies are the longer ones.
Yeah, but look, the 2. Po' Boy 2 sampler.
It came from the Po' Boy 2 sampler. Actually, both of these did. La Diferencia Cubana, though, we figured, you know, cheap cigars, bad construction. The first thing I noticed about the cigar was horrible construction. It looked like, you know, it was just piecemeal together quickly, and it was kind of all warped-like looking. There was some problems with some tears in the wrapper, but I figured, okay, these are just going to be junk. Boy, was I wrong. The La Diferencia Cubana, it had such an amazing flavor. It really had an amazing flavor. The flavors that I noticed at first is it tasted a lot like a raspberry Pop-Tart. Seriously, it was just a mild hint of raspberry, which was really sweet on the tongue, and it's not supposed to be a flavored cigar. And I also noticed that the smell was kind of leathery. These are flavors I don't usually pick up flavors in a cigar where I'm like, whoa, that tastes like, you know, it's supposed to be a sun-grown leaf, we found out, and it's supposed to be mild to medium according to what's said about it. I think it would very well go with a raspberry shock top beer.
Of course, raspberry shock top beer all the way. And also a strawberry red's apple beer,
now,
too.
About halfway, you talk about complex flavors. It started to come out more of a honey pepper flavor, like a honey pepper vodka. And in the background, you could still kind of taste the raspberry, but it was such a faint hint that it was almost gone. And then in the final bit, it started to taste very minty, but with very strong notes of earth and hay, almost like walking through a cow barn. And yet it was a pleasurable flavor, and you could still somewhat in the background pick up the notes of honey and pepper and raspberry. It was a cigar that almost made me tear because of how beautiful it was and the flavors.
However, we discussed we were going to buy an entire box of them, or a bundle.
So, it might be odd for me to say, here's a cigar that's roughly $1 a stick that I'm sitting there drooling over saying, I want another one. Yeah, the La Diferencia Cubana, I'm giving it a 9.1.
I already said, what was mine? 9.5.
You said 9.5.
Oh yeah, that thing is, in my opinion, you could sit there and say this cigar's crap, this cigar crap. Heck, I smoked a Cusano 18 and an aging room, but this little cheap gem is better than both of them.
This beats some of the 90 rated that we've tried. I don't know why this one doesn't get a much better rating. Yeah, okay, it had some minor construction errors, but as smoking it, it never had a construction error problem throughout the entire thing of smoking. It didn't crack and fall apart, no canoeing, no tunneling, no running, no rampaging, no burning your face. It wasn't overly hot at the end where your fingers are being singed and your lips are getting canker sores. It was just a fantastic smoke. So
I'm sorry for all of you seeing me go blah blah blah. The reason is I got
She's
the FedEx
worried
man.
the FedEx man will come while we're talking. The next one that we move on to is called the Duque, which was also from the Po' Boy 2 sampler. This one, really, they even say that there might be some yucks or craps or whatever in it. This was.
That was the description of the Po' Boy 3. The yucks and their bago crap.
I'll say at first, maybe my opinion was altered due to the fact that I thought it was the El Duque instead of the Duque. The El Duque is a cognac infused, and he's digging. And I sat there and I said, there's no cognac flavor in this whatsoever. I don't see cognac infused. What's with this? If I'm getting cognac, I want cognac. There's nothing here. It's because it was the Duque. The El Duque, same label, by the way, is the one that has the cognac. And it doesn't tell you very clearly which of the Duques you get. So, kind of crappy. They don't give you a real answer as to what's in the sampler. So anyways, onto the cigar itself. It was sort of a greenish brown wrapper. It's supposed to be a Sumatran, and I do not believe Sumatrans are supposed to look like they haven't been cured enough to actually turn brown all the way. These were like ripe leaves that they wrapped the cigar in. She thought she tasted some toffee in it.
Toffee was very delicious too, and a little bit of caramel. But that's my opinion.
While I was looking for flavors, I'm looking at this wrapper, this greenish wrapper that's not a Candela, and I got to realizing there's little nicks and tears in it that obviously were fixed by the torcedor. And I'm sitting there thinking, you know what? Thank God for things like the Duque, because our torcedors who end up making some of the most fantastic cigars in the country, they have to get their start somewhere making cigars. And if they're making Duques and they're doing a decent job of making them, because that's the one thing I will say about the Duque, is the construction, the burn was perfect. It was a nice, tight cigar all the way through. Only problem is that the leaf didn't seem cured enough, and you could tell that there was construction errors, but they went and fixed them, and they fixed them in such a way that it didn't affect the way the cigar smoked. And I'm thinking, hey, these are some torcedors on their way up to bigger and better things. Now, for me, though, the other killer in this cigar was the flavor. At the very end, in the final third, the part I look forward to, I was reminiscing of the Gurkha Shaggy, which, again, in the final third of that, the flavor was just to the point I'm sitting there going, ugh, this is gross. I want to get done with it now. Well, this tasted like the Gurkha Shaggy did. I was having flashbacks of smoking that and thinking to myself, I want to just finish this. I want to get it done, but I didn't want to waste the money. Even though this was, unlike the Shaggy, which was an expensive cigar, this was a cheap one, I still didn't really want to waste any. So I ended up giving it a 6.8, which was a little more generous, but I did that because I thought, you know, this taught me a lesson about the torcedors and the fact that they got to get their start somewhere, and the torcedors on this were really good at what they did. It's just the Duque is using horrible tobacco, in my opinion. That's all I could say. Rita's rating was a 6.5. She wasn't even as generous as me. Any of your thoughts still on the Duque besides what I said?
I was disappointed. I thought it was cognac flavored. When I found out it wasn't, well, it smoked great. There was not many flavors in it.
Yeah, you did spend 2 hours of smoke out of it.
Exactly. And that's one thing I do want to say is I got my money's worth there.
I only got an hour and 9 minutes. So I started keeping time on that one. I don't know why. And I didn't keep time on the next one we're doing, which is the Schizo. Now, I bought a bundle of Schizos because, heck, 30 bucks, 20 cigars. I figured, heck, it's a good way to fill up my cigar humidor a bit. Now, I found that there wasn't any real particular flavors that just leapt out at me. It was a very basic, standard cigar. Nothing to write home about and say, hey, you gotta go try this cigar. But there was nothing to say, hey, you know, this is a junk cigar that's only 30 bucks. By the way, it is from Asylum, and they do have a 7x70 on it, too.
Yes,
they
I was
like their
looking that
jumbos,
up.
and so I put that on her wish list here as something to possibly get her, because Honestly, for a bundle cigar, it is well worth the money. It is a quality smoke. And heck, you know, this is essentially Asylum's second overruns or Asylum floor models that, you know, these didn't cut it quite yet. So they are a quality cigar.
Very
just
quality,
at a
and
very
it took
cheap
me an
price.
hour and 45 minutes to smoke.
Same here. I finished like a minute or two before you, so we were right on hand on that. And usually I rush my smokes.
No,
so.
I didn't rush it, but I also was trying to juggle everything, you know, like making espressos and everything else.
So anyways, there you have it. That's the 3 cigars that we have to review. Our next ones will be Stogie's brand, CAO, and we don't know what else, if anything else at this point. But
I do want to say to you all curious about this before we go, and it's my turn to talk, because he always steals the spotlight at times, but he gets his point across, is CAO Sampler 2. We're going to be reviewing in time the CAO LX2, the CAO Criollo, the CAO Gold, the CAO Maduro, the CAO MX2, the CAO Osa, which I get to try, the Osa Soul.
yes, because I've already tried one.
I'm looking forward to the CAO America. If it smokes really good, I'm going to get a box for myself. The CAO Cameroon, the CAO Brasilia, and the CAO Italia. All these are 90-plus rated cigars right there.
Yep, a thing of beauty there, and we both got one of those. So
to let you also know,
and
this little jobby also is cedar lined. If you remove the plastic, you'll find cedar in there. So,
and we also got a 5-cigar Zycar sampler that gives us a chance to try all 5 Zycar cigars. That wasn't a bad deal either.
No, $9.95. And the Zycars are in this.
Yeah, they are all tiny little Robustos, but heck, what the heck? You know, it's still a smoke.
And we could probably get a good hour out of it.
And it's a good quick one when you want to have one and then run, you know? So, there you have it.
There you have it.
Essentially our review.
Please add and subscribe if you like. Please post comments, leave feedback and suggestions. Thank you. And may God bless the world.